What's up, guys? So I was actually pretty conflicted about whether or not I should make this video because, in my opinion, the ideal shadowing setup actually costs a good bit of money to acquire. And I know that not everyone has extra cash laying around, some people are not going to be able to afford this, but for the people that can't afford it, I do think it makes a difference, so I wanted to make a video about it. Now, if you can't afford the stuff that I talk about in this video, don't let that be a limitation for you. You can still shadow, you can still get fluent in Japanese or whatever language you're studying. But I do think that it makes a difference, so you might want to consider saving up and kind of investing in this setup, because in the long term, it could, really benefit your language studies. And also the expensive components that I'm going to talk about in this video, they have other uses outside of just shadowing that are pretty beneficial as well. So, without further ado, in my opinion, the ideal shadowing setup consists of 3 components. First of all, you're just going to want normal old earbud headphones. So these are just normal old headphones that were like 20, 30 bucks. I've had them for a super long time. They're not great. They're just normal old Sony headphones, They block out some sound when you put them in, but not too much. They don't have any noise canceling features or anything like that. They're just normal headphones. So you probably already have something like this laying around. This is the cheapest part. Next, you're going to want to get a Blue Yeti microphone. So basically, the Blue Yeti microphone is probably the best microphone you can get in around the $100 range. It costs about $100 on Amazon, which might sound crazy expensive for a microphone, but it's really nice for the value that it gets. When you look at what real professional level microphones cost, it can be like $500 or more, even sometimes more than $1,000. And so for what you're paying, you're actually getting a lot of value with the Blue Yeti microphone. By the way, Blue is the company, Yeti is the brand. A lot of YouTubers use this Blue Yeti microphone. You've probably seen it. Other YouTubers use it before. Dogan uses it. Basically, the reason why you're going to want to have a Blue Yeti microphone is because you can plug in your headphones directly into it. So right here at the top, there's a headphone jack. I can plug in these headphones, and now I can hear what the microphone is picking up directly in real time with, no lag at all. Now, this is important for what I'm going to be explaining in a second, but basically, the reason why you want a Blue Yeti is for this feature right here. So the feature where you can plug in your headphones and get feedback in real time. If you find another microphone that lets you do this, then that's totally good enough. You don't need to have a $100 microphone. Just this is the only one that I know of that has this feature. Now, there are ways of kind of getting real-time feedback through, what you're saying without having a microphone like this. For example, with Audacity, you can tell it to just play everything that your microphone's picking up in real time. But if it's going through your computer, there's going to be a little bit of lag. Like there's going to be half a second to 1 second of lag, and that's enough to completely throw you off and mess up your rhythm, because you're trying to continue to speak and you're hearing what you said half a second ago, and it just really kind of plays with your head. So it's important that you have no lag at all. And as far as I know, the only real way to do this is to be having the sound come directly out of the microphone itself and not going through your computer. So it is expensive at $100, but it's really durable. I've been using this one for years, and it's also just really great for voice calls and stuff like that, because as you can hear, it sounds pretty nice. And the last thing that you're going to need are noise canceling headphones. So I've talked about these particular noise canceling headphones in my immersion hardware video. I think they're really great. They're wireless. The battery lasts a really long time. The noise canceling feature is amazing. The sound quality is really great. So, if you're trying to learn a language through immersion, these are pretty much the most useful tool that you can buy. They're really expensive at $350, but I think it's totally worth it when you consider how many hours you're going to be spending with these on your head, And it's not important that you have this exact model. You can get any noise canceling headphones. There's also the Bose Quiet Comfort 25s. These are the 35s. There's the Bose Quiet Comfort 25s that are only $180 on Amazon. I know those are really popular as well, so those could be just as good. So basically, it's just important that you have noise canceling headphones. So the way that this setup works is that you're going to be putting in, you're going to plug your headphones into the microphone, and you're going to put one side in, but not the other. Then you're going to put on your noise canceling headphones, and you're going to connect them to your computer and turn them on. And so what happens is because the noise canceling is so strong, it actually is going to make it so that you can hardly hear your own voice. It's actually quite hard to just have a normal Skype call with the noise canceling feature of these headphones on, because you can't really hear your own voice, and it feels like you're shouting almost. And so what this does is, first of all, it cancels out your subjective voice. Now, this is actually really important because we've all probably had the experience of listening to a recording of our own voice and then being surprised that it doesn't sound anything like how we feel like we sound when we're just speaking, normally. And this is because when you're speaking normally, your voice is resonating with your skull and echoing inside your skull, and there's like an actual explanation for it. But anyway, the way that you sound to yourself subjectively is different than how you actually sound objectively. So, of course, if you're trying to improve your accent, then you want to know how you actually sound objectively so that you can fix all the errors. And normally this is very hard to do. You have to record yourself and then listen to it back. That's why you always hear that advice, record yourself, listen to it back, because then you get to hear what you sound objectively. Because subjectively, it's a lot harder to hear the flaws in your pronunciation. But with this effect, where you're basically canceling out your real voice with the noise canceling headphones, and then getting a direct input of what your voice sounds like objectively because you're speaking into the mic, and then you're getting that feedback from the mic into your ear, you get to hear what you sound like objectively, not subjectively, with real-time feedback. So this is invaluable. I think you could just practice speaking with, noise canceling headphones on and both of these in, and that would probably help you a lot. Because you get to really hear oh, that sounded funny, and you can slowly self-correct your pronunciation. But the other benefit is just that since you're only putting one of the earbuds in, and then you're gonna play your shadowing material through your computer or your MP3 player or whatever, now it's really easy to hear both your voice and the shadowing material at kind of an equal level without one overpowering the other. And this is normally really hard to do. So because you're canceling out your real voice, just on one side you have what's coming out of the mic, and the other side you have the actual shadowing material, and then you can control the volume until they're both the ideal level, because there's a knob right here on the front of the Yeti mic. Sorry, you can't see it, but you can control the volume, and then on your computer or your MP3 player, you can control the volume of your shadowing material. So you can get them both very easily to be the perfect level, and then now you have the perfect feedback system set up where you're listening to real native material, you're trying to repeat it, and then you can clearly hear the discrepancies between your voice and the recording. And so for me, it was only once I thought of this setup that shadowing really started to kind of click for me and really work for me. And it really feels like now whenever I use this setup to shadow, that it actually is really helping me progress and improve. So I know it's super expensive, like a few $100 total. I think that it really could be worth it if you are serious about improving your accent. And also, these headphones, they're going to benefit you in many more ways than just shadowing. Like I said before, it's going to help with your immersion a lot. And this microphone is also good if you ever are planning on making YouTube videos, or you do a lot of voice calls or anything. It is just really useful. My brother doesn't make any YouTube videos or anything, and he has one just because it's a nice mic. And so I think it could be worth it. So for the rest of this video, I'm just going to give a demonstration on, what it looks like when I shadow. And yeah, so let's go. So a lot of times when I shadow, I'll actually record with OBS. OBS is a free screen capture program that is pretty cool because it lets you record both whatever's coming out of your microphone and what's actually coming out of your computer. So, that's the other cool thing about the shadowing setup, is that if you're doing it with your computer with this microphone, then you are already recording your voice, and then you have access to what you're actually shadowing with. So you can record both of those and listen to them back, and that can be useful as well. So sometimes I record both the actual recording that I'm shadowing with in addition to my voice, and then I can listen back to both over each other, which is pretty fun. But realistically, it's probably more beneficial to just record your own voice and listen back to that, because that's what's really important, right? Your own pronunciation. So I'll do a little demonstration of both. First, I'll record both my voice and what I'm using to shadow, and then I'll just record my own voice. So let's go.
初編
初編。
天は人の
天は人の上に人を作らず、
人の下に
人の下に人を作らずと言えり。
されば
されば、
天より人を
生ずるには、万人は万人、皆同じくらいにして、生まれながら、貴賤上下の差別なく、
万物の
霊たる身と心との働きをもって、天地の間にあるよろずのものを取り、もって衣食住の世を達し、自由自在、互いに人の妨げをなさずして、おのおの安楽にこの世を渡りしめた者の主位なり。されども、今、広くこの人間世界を見渡す。賢き人あり、愚かなる人あり、貧しきもあり、友でもあり、貴人もあり、下人もありて、そのありさま、雲と泥との相違あるに似たるは何ぞや。
その次第、甚だ。
Okay, now I'll just record my voice. 明らかなり。実語教に、人学ばざれば知なし。知なき者は愚人なりとあり。されば、賢人と愚人との別は、学ぶと学ばざるとによりてできるものなり。また、世の中に難しき仕事もあり、やしき仕事もあり、その難しき仕事をする者を身分重き人と名付け、安き仕事をする者を身分軽き人という。Okay, so that was just a little demonstration. As you can see, I'm by no means perfect. Definitely stumbled around a few times, but that's what it's going to look like. Don't strive for perfection. Just keep going even when you mess up. Focus on the sound as much as possible and not really worry about the meaning. So that's it for this video. Again, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments, and good luck shadowing, guys.